Well, thank you all for coming, first of all. It's great to have such a terrific crowd. The purpose of our event today is to showcase recent research at Stanford on groundwater and related issues, particularly with a focus on California. Before I introduce Director Cowan, I wanted to just say a few words about our work and put the event in some kind of overall context. So this event is sponsored by Water in the West. My name is Szeptycki. I'm the Director of Water in the West. It's a joint program of the Stanford Woods Institute for the Environment and the Bill Lane Center for the American West. The program was created in 2010 with the purpose of engaging Stanford University in solving water scarcity problems in its home region, the American West. And in order to do that, we have an interdisciplinary team of staff researchers, postdocs, students, and affiliated faculty. And in addition to spending a lot of time on research, we actually spend a huge amount of time on engagement and outreach to figure out what research we should be doing, because our underlying goal in all this work is to produce research that can be used to solve problems. So we engage directly with water managers, policymakers, local officials, and others through a variety of means, including workshops, conferences, and direct working partnerships, and we hope events like today's. We seek input from all our various partners as to whether there are key questions related to water management or water science that Stanford is well suited to answer, and then we structure our research to answer those questions, involving our partners in the work from start to finish to ensure not just that we're asking the right questions and answering the right questions, but that we produce work in a format that's actually useful to our partners and to the world at large. So I hope, in addition to giving you the opportunity to learn about our work, today's event will maybe inspire you to give us feedback on other potential areas of research, and hopefully today we'll build some new relationships and some new partnerships. So the focus of today's panel is groundwater. Sustainable groundwater management is by far the largest and most longstanding of our programs at Water in the West. This is due in large part to the generosity of the Stephen D. Bechtel Jr. Foundation. Prior to 2014, the program did work to assess what it meant to manage groundwater sustainably and what that might look like, particularly in California. To name just a few of our projects, the research included work on new methods and technologies for understanding aquifers, a study of AB 3030 and other water management districts in California and their best practices to look at what was being done right in California prior to the passage of SGMA, comparative studies regarding other states and countries, including a series of conferences and reports comparing specifically California with Australia on a variety of issues concerning groundwater management, to name just a small handful of the work that took place before 2014. Of course, in 2014, everybody's life changed. A lot of people in this room, their lives changed. And SGMA passed, and that required a major retooling of our program. The mandate for sustainable groundwater management is a reality now, as is the basic framework for accomplishing it. However, major questions remain about how to get it done, and our aspiration at Water in the West specifically, and Stanford more generally, is to produce research that can directly help state and local agencies implement SGMA. So our current focus on SGMA is why we are so pleased to have Mark Cowan as our keynote speaker. His agency, this is sort of a cliche, it's on the front lines of SGMA. The legislature handed Cowan and his people, Director Cowan and his agency, a phenomenally long list of chores, including identifying basins subject to critical overdraft, promulgating regulations, developing best management practices, quantifying the water available for recharge, and other difficult tasks. Despite this workload, DWR's SGMA team has been instrumental in our work at Stanford over the last 2 years. They've been extremely active, extremely helpful partners. They provided us input and guidance on our projects, participated actively in our conferences and workshops, and helped to distribute our data survey, which Tara Moran will talk about later, among a variety of other engagements with our program. So our relationship with DWR has been extremely productive on our SGMA-focused work, and that's why we're so happy to have Director Cowan here. Now, he faces, and his agency face, an exceptionally difficult task. The demands of the statute itself, the stress of the drought, the challenges of local governments, contradictory pressures from a variety of special interest groups, all amount to an obstacle course, but it's like a combination between an obstacle course and a marathon, right? So it's constant dodging, constant climbing of walls, constant surmounting of obstacles, but all over the course of decades, not months or years. And for all those tasks that DWR is faced with, it couldn't have a better leader. I think this number is right, that we're told that on average, humans are about 60% water, right? I think I have that number right. And I suspect with Director Cowan, the number's a lot higher than that, because he's devoted his whole life to California water. He grew up on a farm in the Central Valley. His family grew predominantly raisins, I'm told. But almost more unbelievably than that, he's worked at DWR since 1981, which is dangerously close to 40 years. I saw one bio of Director Cowan that said it's 30 years, but it's getting dangerously close to 40 years. And he served in a variety of roles, including Assistant Director of Planning and Director of CalFed, and was appointed Director first in 2010 and then reappointed by Governor Brown in 2012.